What's going on, YT Nation? We back at it again with another video up here at the shop. Today we're gonna be prepping the Jeep for paint. I went ahead to the paint store and got all the stuff that I needed for that. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the hood off of the Jeep and throw it on a stand right there. I wanna go ahead and sand it down on that just so it's easier for me to reach everything, and then I'll go ahead and sand the bumper and the fender on the car. But yeah, I went to the paint store and picked up everything I need. This is the exact paint match, paint code PS2. It's a Chrysler color, but it's what's on the door jamb of the Jeep. So that's what I got. I went ahead and got my reducer, my hardener, my clear coat, couple cups, tack rags, some sandpaper, plus all the other stuff I got over there already. But yeah, man, stick with me. We're gonna go ahead and pop this hood off of there and start taking the little spray nozzles out of it and start sanding it down, and we'll go from there. And that's all it is to take the hood off. 4 13mm bolts, and then a little pick tool to pop the shock, a little clamp off the shock so you can pop it off with a knuckle. Go ahead and set the bolts and everything off to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these washer nozzles. Those are just little plastic clips that you push in, just like that. There we go. They got 2 little clips on the sides, you just push them in and pull it down. Now that those are out the way, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and remove the Jeep logo. I'm not saving the Jeep logo. I don't plan on putting it back on there. My personal opinion, it looks better with it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me a little plastic remover tool. I got 3 different little things right here. I'm gonna try the softest, flimsiest one first. And if that don't work, I'll go to this and then that. There we go. Simple as that. Now that I got the badging off, there's the sticker residue left over right here. I do have an eraser wheel, but I forgot my battery for my drill at the house. I left it on the charger. So I'm gonna go ahead and try some Goo Gone and some alcohol and just see what I can get off right now. Alright, so as you can see, I got all the residue off, everything's good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the hood down before I start sanding. Get any kind of dust or trash or anything off of it that might scratch it even deeper when sanding. So I'm gonna just wipe it down with some alcohol. Make sure you get your edges really good too. Alright, now she's good and clean. We're going to go ahead and sand her down. I'm just going to hit it with a 400 to take the clear coat off of it. And then we'll prep her again. Give her a good wipe down and clean. And then she'll be ready for paint. with me. I'm gonna go ahead and get this sanded down and show y'all what it looks like when it's sanded. So this is what you're looking for when you sand it down. You want this matte finish. You want to get all the shine off of it and just dull looking finish, no shine. So the paint will have something better to stick to. So if you have any shiny spots, you miss anything, it's a soft spot and it'll let it flake and eventually peel and or have bubbling or anything like that. So make sure you get all the clear to a matte surface. All right, so we got the hood all sanded down. Everything looks like it's pretty good. Don't look like it has any more shiny spots on it. But we're gonna go ahead and wipe her down, clean her up, set her off to the side. Alright, so we will give it a nice good final prep and clean before we actually spray some color down. But as of right now, we're gonna let her dry and set her off to the side. So I got the Jeep pulled in. I got the hood set off to the side on the little tarp there. I got the front bumper removed, and I have already taken the license plate holder off. the bezels for the fog lights, and also both fog lights are out. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pop this lower, I guess, splitter diffuser type thing, I guess, I'm not sure. Separate the bumper from this, and then all we got to do is paint this section here. This will be off of it, and then sand her down and everything before paint, of course, but you get what I'm saying. Separate it and sand her down, get her ready for paint. But I'm gonna go ahead and sand this fender down. I need to fix a spot on the door right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and sand all that down, fix that, and then get the door sanded as well, because I'm gonna go ahead and blend into the door when I do the fender. I'm gonna put the hood back on when I paint, so I'm gonna paint the hood, the fender, and blend into the door, and then I'm gonna paint the bumper on the stand right in front of it. So stick with me. I'm gonna get this disassembled and we'll go from there. All right, so I got the bumper separated. Everything's ready to go to be sanded on that. We're gonna set this off to the side, out of the way for now, and then I'll probably go ahead and tape up the headlight. I might just remove it. We'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this bumper, sanding it down. So it's the next day up here at the shop. It got a little late on me last night. I had to shut down. They closed up the gates over here at 10 o'clock. So unfortunately, I couldn't get done what I wanted to last night. But this is what it's looking like. I got the hood back on. I got the headlight passenger side removed. The grill is removed. That way I can get all up in the corners and everything. Got the trim removed. And that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding down the fender. I got everything over here set off to the side. The bumper's ready. Got all my parts right there. The headlights, everything up over there. So we're gonna go ahead and sand this fender down and get that prepped and ready. All right, got the fender all sanded down, ready to go. About to go ahead and start on the door, getting that sanded, and then that little bit of body work right there, just a little tiny dent. Go ahead and get that fixed, prepped, ready. Once I got the door sanded, give her a good wipe down and wash, and everything will be ready to start shooting in some paint. Stick with me. As you can see, I got the door sanded down. I went ahead and taped everything off where I didn't want it to hit. Got it all sanded down. I'm about to go ahead and fix that little dent in the door right quick, which I need to sand that area a little bit more. I only hit the door with a 400, so I'm gonna sand that area down a little bit more, throw a little bit of Bondo on there, smooth it out nice and even, hit it with a primer, and then hit it again and get everything all sanded out on it nice and smooth, and that should be ready for paint. As you can see, I laid down a layer of Bondo, just a really, really thin skim coat. The dent wasn't really that bad. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and then I'm gonna sand it down and then hit it with a spot putty, a glazing putty, just to fill any kind of pinholes or anything like that. So we'll wait for this to dry and then sand her down. As you can see, I got the dent all nice and fixed. It's all smoothed out, nice and flat. So I'm gonna wait a minute. I just wiped it down with some alcohol, got the surface clean, and then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of this primer, put a coat, maybe two on it, and then we'll sand it back out, and then she should be ready for paint. All right, got 2 good coats of primer on it. Gonna let that dry. I'm gonna take the Jeep home tonight and gonna wet sand everything tomorrow. Like I said, I have no water access here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all the wet sanding done on it tomorrow, and then try to get it up here tomorrow evening, get it all wiped down, and go ahead and start getting it painted in tomorrow. So I got everything wet sanded. The bumper, the hood, the fender, and the door. Everything's all wet sanded, ready to go. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry. I'm gonna take it home, wash it with some good soap and water, clean it up real good, then I'll bring it back, and then we'll go ahead and start the paint process. But as of right now, that's gonna be a wrap on the Jeep. I'm gonna go ahead and paint it in the next video, but I did promise y'all some price breakdown. So I'm about to give y'all a couple things that I got on the list, and we'll go from there. In the next episode, we'll break the rest of it down and do a total cost of everything. All right, so eBay was $122.73, pick and pull $222.31. Both headlights were $75.04. The headlight bracket was $47.69. Upper oil pan was $114.98. Lower oil pan was $32.85. The drive shaft for the front was $79.46. Inner tie rod was $23.84. The oil dipstick tube was $35.85. And the hood and the bumper were $680. And with the hood, it came with the full hood complete, the wiper nozzles, the under the hood where the mat and everything is, all the lines for the wiper nozzles or the sprayer nozzles, everything for the bumper, all the grills, not that grill, but the lower one, those grills, the headlight, not the headlights, but the fog lights, the bezels, full complete bumper and hood for $680. So that brings a grand total for so far $2,637.75. Now I have more parts to add to this list, but that's going to be in the next video when I paint the Jeep. So stick with me for the next video. I'll do a full price breakdown, add the rest of the stuff to the list after we get it painted. And once it's all said and done, we'll get the full price breakdown. But stick with me in the next episode. We're going to go ahead and try to get this thing painted. And by no means am I a painter. I've only painted one other thing in my life on a car. And it was a front bumper. So we're going to learn together on that. But until the next episode, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Everything I tell you to do at the end of them videos, it would be greatly appreciated. But until next time, peace out, YT Nation.